Hello, you wonderful one. Welcome back to the seat of the Maloka. I want to start today's episode differently. Right now, as I record this, it just feels that slowly the walls are coming closer to me and I'm unable to breathe. And somehow, I'm still here choosing to sit through it all because I keep asking myself one question. Is this worth sitting through? Is this waiting actually taking me closer to what I am becoming? And every single time, the answer is yes. I want to tell you why I believe that. Pull up a chair. Let's begin. There is a philosophy I return to often, something so simple that if you hear it, it sounds almost too obvious to matter. But the longer I sit with it, and I'm sitting with it right now, the more substance I find inside it. It goes like when the egg is broken from the outside, it takes a life away. But when the egg breaks from the inside, a life takes birth. How beautiful is that? Same egg, same shell, same act of breaking, but the direction it comes from decides everything. Let us stay with this for a moment. If an egg is broken from the inside by a predator, by an accident, by force applied on it, what is inside does not get the chance to become what it was meant to be. The breaking ends something. It interrupts a process that has yet to be finished. But if the same egg breaks from the inside, if the life inside pushes against the shell in its own time, with its own strength, because it is ready, the breaking is the beginning. The shell was only ever meant to hold something until it was strong enough to break out on its own. I think about how much of our lives we spend confusing these two kinds of breaking. We are so afraid of breaking, of falling apart, of things cracking open. And I understand why. Because so much of what has broken us in the past came from the outside. A loss we did not choose, a betrayal we did not see coming, an accident probably coming our way. So we learn, understandably, to protect the shell, to keep things intact. But the shell was never meant to last forever. It was only ever meant to hold you until you were ready. The issue is not that you might break. The issue is spending your entire life so afraid of it that you never let the life inside you push hard enough to come through on your own terms, in your own time. There is a real difference between something being broken and something breaking open. When life breaks us from the outside, an illness, a sudden loss, a circumstance completely beyond our control, that kind of breaking deserves grief. It deserves to be mourned as a real loss and not reframed too quickly into a silver lining. But there is another kind, the kind where something in you has been growing, pressing against the walls of who you used to be, until finally, because it is ready now, it pushes through. One of the deepest questions we can ask ourselves in any difficult season is this is this happening to me or is this happening through me? Both feel disorienting in the moment, but one is asking to be grieved and the other is asking to be trusted. You cannot force this kind of breaking to happen before it is time. If you crack the shell open too early, before what is inside has grown strong enough to survive outside of it, you do not get birth. You get the same damage as if the break had come from the outside. It is hard to hear if you're impatient with your own growth. If you are tired of the shell, tired of the waiting. But the egg does not rush itself. It grows in the dark for as long as it needs to. And when the life inside is finally strong enough, the breaking happens almost on its own, effortlessly. All the work you have done that feels invisible right now, the sitting with discomfort, the slow releasing, the growing with no results yet, that is not wasted time. That is the shell being pressed against a little more each day until one day it will no longer be able to hold anything anymore. So let me come back to where I began. The walls are getting closer for me. It feels more suffocating than it did yesterday. And I no longer hear that as something going wrong. I hear it as the shell finally being pressed against hard enough that it cannot hold much longer. The suffocation is not the end of the story. It might be the clearest sign that the story is about to change. And that is why I'm sitting through it. And that is why every time I ask myself if this waiting is worth it. And the answer keeps coming back yes. So, the question I want to leave you with this week is the same one I have been asking myself. Where in your life is something trying to break from the inside? Not the breaking that has been done to you. That deserves its own grief, its own time. I'm asking about the other kind. The pressure against an old shell, an old identity, an old way of being that used to protect you and now feels too small. That pressure is not a problem to solve. It is life doing exactly what life does. You don't have to rush it or force it. You only have to trust that when you're ready, the breaking will come from exactly the right place, from inside. And what emerges will not be a loss, it will be birth. Thank you for spending this time with me today. As always, I'm keeping you in my heart, and I look forward to sharing another conversation with you very soon. So much love to you.